This smells like childhood. For a lot of people, that's what it is. It smells like back home. It smells like childhood for them. We do make everything on the spot. Every day we make fresh breads and pastries. So it is only natural that those aromas do fill the air.
That's beautiful to bring those childhood memories from so far away here for them.
This was one of our goals. This was supposed to be just the way we remembered it, just the way we were brought up. We want to give that to Arbella and everyone else around. We want to bring this back to the community, to our kids, to our families.
And how was it back home when you grew up? Because I'm sure that you bring flavors and memories to the people that come to the store. Tell us yours.
Well, we grew up in communist and post-communistic world when we were kids. Back then, it was all about the homemakers. Our moms, our grandmothers made everything we knew out of absolutely nothing. In the stores, you went by and you had a box of shoelaces, maybe a stick of butter or margarine, and an oil bottle. That's what you were able to see in the stores on a regular basis because the regime took everything and distributed it elsewhere. This was the story throughout entire Poland, and that's just the way things were. So it was important to know somebody who knew somebody. It was important to have a farmer friend who had that butter or had that milk or had something else that you could exchange for and make something out of. Baking at home was very, very important. That was the only way of getting a little bit of something extra into our houses by having our moms and grandmothers do all the baking.
The bread too.
Absolutely, bread was part of it. You had people come together to make those things for 2 or 3 families if need be, in exchange for other goods, for other needs.
The families in Poland were essential to support each other and to support, you would support each other as a community.
In villages, yes, everyone knew each other. It was all big uncle and aunt's family. Nobody was really related, but everyone called each other uncle and aunt. and you got together if need be to provide, to get by.
So tell us about what is the art of making bread. I never thought of that, and I think it's wonderful.
There's actually quite a few things that go into making bread. You have to consider the temperature of the room, the humidity of the room, the flour that you're making. Even from grain to grain, the flour will differ. All those things go into effect. So again, it's not as easy as opening up a book. You actually have to know your environment and your product to make a good bread every single time. And that's what an artisan baker does. He evaluates all those things and changes things accordingly to what the conditions require.
Tell us about your husband's passion for baking. How did it start and how he brings it to his daily routine here?
It's literally in his blood. Both sides of his family. The grandfather from his mom's side of the family was a baker. His dad and uncle owned the bakery back home. So on both sides, there was always a passion for baking. And he grew up in bakery as a child because of his dad. He went to a baking school, finished it with honors, then started practicing in a bakery back home in Poland. Not in his uncle's, he didn't want the easy way out. So he went into a competitor's bakery to really learn his ways. Wound up going to England for a couple of years and baking over there. Eventually coming to United States, he baked here for a wonderful Polish bakery in Passaic, New Jersey, Polonia. He moved to Pennsylvania. He worked here in Slatersburg in a fabulous Apple Ridge farm. So he was a master baker for them for quite a few years. Somewhere along the way, he realized that, you know what, it's time to try something of our own. So we set this up.
A man after his dreams.
Yes.
That's how I view him. You make the bread from scratch.
Oh yes, absolutely.
All of the breads.
Absolutely. Every single one of those was made on our own starter. The recipes are 100% his. He's been exposed to different recipes along the way. So he's taken a little bit here and there, but changed them to what he thought was absolutely the best. So you got your ciabatta, which is very, very airy. And then you've got your Polish bread, which is also sourdough, but it's very dense.
I see.
Depending whether you bake it in a sheet pan or you bake it straight out, that will make a difference.
Tell us about what other things you have, and it all brings you back to Poland, right? Because I
Yes.
see they're all Polish names.
Everything that we do have, for the most part, is from our Polish traditions. It's what we still use back home, what our grandmothers used, and a lot of times there are still brands that have carried over from our childhood into what we have right now. All the cakes are made here, and those are based on recipes from back home. The basics are our Polish pastries as our grandmothers and our moms made for us back home.
Tell us a little bit also about the staff here, the people that work here. Are they Polish? How do they bring and support your dream?
Everyone brings in their own energy. Everyone is very eager to help, and we're blessed to have the team that we do. Most of our crew is Polish, so they remember all these things from back home, from their childhood as well. They help to bring that energy and the tradition that they remember in with us.
Do you have any family members that work with you too?
Oh, absolutely. We do have our wonderful sister-in-law, my husband's sister. She is the master behind most of the bakes, the sweets. He is the more traditional part. She is the one that does all the bakes.
With all these bakers in the family, with your
Yes.
sister-in-law and your husband, I want to ask you something very personal.
Uh-huh.
Do you bake?
Absolutely not. I will not compete with the two of them. We've got too many bakes as it is, and I think my little one is going in their footsteps because she enjoys a little bit of playing time with the flour.
Tell us about how the Polish community has reacted when they have a piece of Poland here in the Poconos for them.
Everyone, and not just Polish community, was very, very welcome. On a first day, we were supposed to open at 9 o'clock. We had people come in at 7 o'clock.
Oh, no,
A
really?
line practically out the door since the very, very first hours of us still bringing things in. So it's been very welcoming.
How do you view this community?
This is home. For the first time in 30 years, I've been able to say, last 7 years, I've lived here, and I've been able to say that this is home.